Well, hello, Stampers. It's the Pampered Stamper. Happy Wednesday to you. Today, the video, it's the first Wednesday of the month, and that means it's time for the Global Monthly Video Hop. So instead of doing my regular Wednesday stamping through my stash, you get a Global Monthly Video Hop. The theme this month is monochromatic, and that means all the same color. So we get to pick whatever color we want, and then the card is all that color or shades thereof. So I'm pretty excited about that. I love monochromatic cards. So with the Global Monthly Video Hop, we have demonstrators from all over the world participating, and you can find the links below in my description of the video. So I hope you hop on over to all of them and check them out to see what they've come up with. They're an amazing group of talented people, and we're excited to have you. My name is Jackie van der Sarboot, and I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in both the Netherlands and in Canada. And demonstrator is just a fancy word for salesperson. My job is to sell stamps, ink, and paper so that you can do this amazing hobby at home. So I hope that you buy from me because that makes me super happy. Almost as happy as making beautiful cards. So let's have a look. The color I chose is boho blue. And the neat thing about Stampin' Up! Is that there is their coordination. So they have the cardstock, they have the ink pads, they have blends in boho blue. Not the blends do not come in all of the colors, almost all. Then I have a Stampin' Write marker in boho blue, brush tip, fine tip. There is a re-inker. Whenever you buy an ink pad, it's always a good idea to get the re-inker as well. Keeps your ink pad nice and fresh and juicy. You don't have to ink it, re-ink it very often, but it's just nice to have. And then I'm also going to use this pattern paper, which is Christmas Meadow, I think it's called. So the blues are in there. So there's a few other shades of color, but I'm definitely going with the blues. So, oh yeah, one other thing I wanted to show you that goes with this is the boho blue ribbon. So you can just already picture how nice this is going to be. I am going to use the stamp set's Kindest Expressions. I'm going to make a sympathy card. Sadly, we've been needing a lot of sympathy cards lately, so I like to have some on hand. And then the other one I'm going to use, I'm actually showing you the dies first. I'm using perhaps this die. I'm going to show you a few alternatives. And then there's two other dies that go in here, and I've lost them. I'll show them to you in a minute. And this is the stamp set in Dutch. It's called Autumn Wishes in English, but I love the gecondoleerd, which is condolences. And then there's a few other ones that are really, really nice. So I'm going to be using that as well. Now I am looking for, oh yeah, here's one of the dies that's going to add some interest to my sentiment. And here is the other one. Oh, it's just not showing up. I think, oh, there it is. My video seems to be lagging a little bit. Now, monochromatic doesn't necessarily mean that it all has to be the exact same color. It means that it can be the same shade. So my card base is actually going to be Misty Moonlight, which is the darker blue in here. And then I'm also going to use the boho blue on the front. So let's get started. I found a piece of vellum because I wanted to play around with vellum as well. And I found this piece in my vellum file. And it's already been torn because that's from another card that I'm using. And I'm going to use this piece and keep one torn edge. And the symbolism for me with a sympathy card with the torn edge is that something has been torn out of your life when you lose somebody. So I thought that would be appropriate for a sympathy card. I don't always put that much thought into every detail, but when I saw the torn edge, that is really what it made me think of. So here are the things that I'm playing with. I stamped on this pretty little die cut. I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you can see a little bit better there. And then I have a strip here, and I have a little ink spot on there, but you know what? I'm just going to make that work. And let's see. And then I have this one. So what I've done, we can move that pampered stamper out of here. By now you know who I am. Okay, and so what I've done is I stamped gecondoleerd, which means condolences in Dutch. And then I did this twice through the die cutting machine, okay, this die. So it just creates a little dotty pattern, which is really cool. And now for this one, to cover up my little spot, I'm gonna run this through the die cutting machine, like so. And you see how it's kind of uneven and it goes in a little bit more there. I think that's a great design feature. So let's take a look what that's going to look like. Okay, so I have this piece done now. Doesn't it look nice with those little dots? It just adds some interest to it. So I thought that was kind of neat. So now let's play and build it. So I'm going to put this piece of pattern paper, and I'll zoom out because this is going to be a bit difficult, isn't it? There we go. Okay, so this is going to go on here. I'm not gluing anything down yet because I'm still in the design phase. Okay, so that's going to go on here. And then I thought I would do a small piece of this torn vellum. Let's see. I'm just trying to see which edge I like best. I think I like this edge. And then this is going to go on like so, and maybe a little bit higher here. And then I'm going to cut it off straight a little bit, and then I'm going to tie a ribbon around. I just want to decide whether I want it flat or whether I want it with a little knot. So first we'll trim it down to 4 inches or 10 centimeters, okay? So if you're in North America, you'll do 4 inches, and if you are in Europe, you're going to do 10 centimeters. So I'm in Europe, so 10 centimeters it is. Now I just want to make sure, because it's a torn edge, that I have it straight. There. And now I'm going to lay this on here and decide how much I want. There. I'm going to go about this much. So then I have room for the ribbon, and then I still have a little bit of vellum left over. So the nice thing about putting it on vellum is that it softens up the pattern paper underneath. Now, you know what? That's not the one I want. I want this one. This has got more blue. It's a little bit more wild. See, and then that softens it up. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is adhere this piece to that. And then I could do this as well. Then it's English. You know what? I'm just going to double check to make sure my sound is where it's at. Oh no. Sorry guys, the first part of my video is going to be a little softer, and now the sound will be better. I was doing a video call last night with my kids, and then I had toned it down a little bit. Not great, Jackie, but there's always so many things to think about. All right, we'll get some glue. And the nice thing about this with vellum, and I'm going to do the Dutch one just because I can, and I'm in Holland, and then I can send a sympathy card here. You don't want to add adhesive to vellum where you can see it, because vellum is see-through, and then you're going to actually see your streaks of glue. So if you're going to add glue to vellum, then make sure you use a sponge, okay? So and now you can see it's poking through the holes a little bit. Thank goodness this glue is will dry clear. So I'm just going to add a little bit of glue on the back, just under where the cardstock is. Okay. And now I'm going to lay this on here. And I'm going to go down a little bit, like so. And the nice thing about using a liquid adhesive is that you can slide it around. I don't think I did a perfect job in my cutting, but it's going to have to do. I'll distract them with my ribbon. And I think what I'm going to do, I should press this. You could just put a block or something on it. Give it a little bit of weight so that it adheres nicely. There. Now I'm going to tie the ribbon around. And I think I will tie it in a knot instead of, it just gives a little bit more interest. I'll just slide it a little. We just moved last week, and that's been going really well, but every day we're just tweaking a little bit, adding a little this, fixing a little that, and the electrician is coming shortly, so I'm under the gun to get this done. That rhymes, because there's going to be some noise, so hopefully I get done on time. Now use your ribbon scissors to cut this on the diagonal, see? And the sun is coming out. It's going to be a beautiful morning. See how nice that looks? So you've got your tone on tone. We've got boho blue, and now we're going to put it on See, and it would look great with the With Sympathy too, but this is making me pretty happy. So now I'm going to adhere that. I might even see if I have any blue gems to add to it. And if not, we can use our blends to color some pearls or rhinestones. That's what gems are great for. So you can customize your gems with what you have instead of buying them in all different colors. Power of coordination. I'm just going to slide this a little bit so that it's centered. And now for the inside, let's open it up. Oh, that's where my other piece was for. This is it. This is the other side. So we've got tone on tone. This is a lighter print, so I can stamp right on there. Or look, that says fall is the time for letting go. That's not necessarily, that's not great for a sympathy card because, you know, people don't only die in the fall. So we're just going to put that aside. And I think I'm going to stamp altijd in onze gedachten, which means always in our thoughts. And then this says kracht en liefde, which means strength and love. We think, we denken aan je, we're thinking about you, and heel veel sterkte. You could kind of stamp that as a bit of a collage around, but oh, my stamp set is laying off to the side, so it's here. And so a little trick while I'm at it, there's a thin piece of plastic. Make sure you keep that, do not throw it away. And then there's a thick piece of plastic. And what you want to do is you want to take your stamps off the thick piece. It's kind of like a piece of acetate or window sheet. Save that to make a different card. You can use that to make a shaker card or any kind of fancy fold with a bridge. So you want to take all your stamps off and put them inside your case. And then when they're all on here, you cover it up with this one just to keep them clean. Okay? That's not what I wanted to do. I want this one. I'll put that together later. And then when you have the stamps just stick on your block. So make sure you give them a clean when you're done. This is called a stamp and chamois. It doesn't look clean, but I rinse it every day. It is clean, but it does stain from the ink. So peel that off, put it back in the case, and then lay the one that you want flat down on the block. And now we'll ink it up. And then we're almost done our card. So cards don't have to take a long time in order to be beautiful. You also don't need a ton of supplies in order to make cards. You need some ink, you need some paper, some cardstock, and add to your collection according to your budget. Give it a stamp, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and there we go. Look how nice that is. And then we'll glue it in, and we have our monochromatic card. Oh, and you know what? I trimmed off a little piece of this paper because it was too long. And just watch and see what we're going to do with that. There, here it is. And I'm going to just put it at the bottom, and then it coordinates, oops, with the outside of the card. Isn't that nice? So we've got that blue going through all the way. And it doesn't matter whether it's boho blue, misty moonlight, you could add night of navy. We have a bunch of blues. And when you buy our pattern paper, it will tell you on the back of the pattern paper all the coordinating colors that you can use so that it looks beautiful. Oops. There. Now I'm going to see if I can find a few pearls, and I'll show you how to color them. So here I found my pearls. So I'm going to take my Stampin' Blend, the brush tip, and just color like this. Oh, I'm not sitting in like this. Squeaks a little bit. And you can actually leave them for a little while and then go over them again if you want to get a darker shade. But it's a nice, soft, muted. You can also use, if you don't have any blends, you can use, markers won't work, okay? Just so you know. You can use, what are they called? Goodness. Oof, I can't, a Sharpie, that's it. You can use a Sharpie as well, but it might not match perfectly, right? So I'm just going to take this big pearl using my take your pick tool. Oh, yeah, there we go. And then I'm going to put it right here on the vellum. It will stand out a little bit more. And maybe one up here. So there we have it in shades of blue, very appropriate for a sympathy card. And I kind of had fun doing it in Dutch. So that is it for today. Make sure you click on the next link so that you can see all the videos from the Global Monthly Video Hop. Thank you so much for being here today. And if you like the video, make sure you give me a thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe, because when you subscribe, then you will get notifications. I think there's a bit of a two-step process. You first click on the subscribe button, and then a little bell icon will pop up. Click on that, because that means that you want notifications. And people have said that that's why they like my Facebook videos, because they get notifications. Well, the same thing works for YouTube. So, and the reason I do my videos on YouTube is that their search engine is wonderful. So it's much easier to search on there. Things don't get lost on YouTube. If ever you're looking for anything of mine and you can't find it, please message me. I'm here to help you, and I love to do that. So have a super day. Bye.